Mind Over Matter: Consciousness and the Nature of Reality by Jeff Street. Audio recording by Kim Nelson Ingram. Reality is not what it appears. The ancients knew it, pioneering physicists of the early 20th century knew it, and current leading-edge scientists are proving it. All is mind. The big questions and the modern scientific worldview. Throughout the ages, mankind has been trying to answer the big questions. What is the nature of existence and reality? What are we, and why are we here? In our current age, with the ascendance of the ideology of scientific materialism, we have a strong tendency to reject anything that doesn't fit our materialistic paradigm and label it as mystical. We have become mesmerized by the material world. Materialism and consumerism run rampant in our society, lured by the apparent success of the reductionist method that we have used to analyze and understand our world. We have come to view the universe as purely a physical system, working something like a great machine, and with matter being the fundamental substance of reality. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in one decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. Nikola Tesla. Our scientific analytical methods have certainly been successful and have led us to understand the inner workings of matter well enough to create many useful technologies. But these successes have erroneously led us to conclude that our materialistic view of the universe must be correct and reject other ideas as mystical and backward. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. The materialistic paradigm persists in the popular and scientific thought, despite plenty of evidence that it is indeed not true. The theory of relativity and quantum physics have both shown that energy is more fundamental than matter. The pioneers of quantum physics in the early 20th century, Max Planck, Albert Einstein, and others, all came to the same conclusion, that everything is energy, and that somehow consciousness is intimately intertwined with it. And yet this insight seems to have been lost since then. Physicists are still chasing the fundamental particle and focusing on material phenomena rather than focusing on what energy is, how it forms matter, and what other forms can it take. And modern science is still largely ignoring the role of consciousness, despite the observations of quantum phenomena that strongly suggest that consciousness is intimately related to the nature of reality. Mainstream science continues to assume that reality is objective, for example, that it exists independent of consciousness of the observer, despite much evidence to the contrary, and the conclusions of many pioneers of physics. The accomplished English physicist, astronomer, and mathematician Sir James Jeans had this to say: "I incline to the idealistic theory that consciousness is fundamental, and that the material universe is derivative from consciousness, not consciousness from the material universe. In general, the universe seems to me to be nearer to a great thought than to a great machine. It may well be, it seems to me, that each individual consciousness ought to be compared to a brain cell in a universal mind." And he wasn't alone. Max Planck shares a similar viewpoint. "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness." Max Planck, theoretical physicist. Reality is not what it appears. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Shakespeare, Hamlet. Consciousness is probably the most mysterious and significant phenomena in the universe, so to treat it as irrelevant to understanding reality is a major mistake. In fact, there have been some very profound experiments that leave very little doubt that there is an intimate relationship between consciousness and reality, leading some to conclude that...
Sign up to YouAreCreators.tv to download and listen to the full audio